Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah al-Kareem. Alhamdulillah, and welcome back to another episode of Life's Adornments, where we're discussing child rearing, its beauties, its benefits, its virtues. And in this particular episode, we'll be talking about playing with children in the sense that as they are growing up, as we are watching them grow, how do we engage them in a way that is loving, in a way that is merciful, in a way that causes them to grow up to be balanced, happy, and love-giving human beings. So alhamdulillah, to help us with this endeavor, we have Sheikh Assim al-Hakeem, who is a teacher at Zad Academy, a teacher at KIU, and he has been an imam and a teacher for over 30 years. Alhamdulillah, we would like to introduce our guest. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khair for coming, Sheikh, and we always benefit from your knowledge.
Barakallahu feekum, jazakumullah khair for having me.
Now, alhamdulillah, there was a narration of the Prophet ﷺ as he was on his minbar, and his grandsons Hassan and Hussein were rumbling and tumbling and rolling around in the masjid, and he said, Saddaqallah. Could we please talk about this narration, and what was the particular thing that happened here?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala abdihi wa rasulihi wa mustafah nabiyyina Muhammad. وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه أما بعد. This narration is authentic, it's in the Sahih. The Prophet ﷺ was giving a khutbah on the pulpit when he saw Al-Hasan or Al-Hussein, and they were tripping as they were children of 2 or 3 years of age, maybe less. So he came down from the pulpit, picked them up, and went back, and he said, Allah Azza wa Jal had said the truth, that wealth and your offspring are a fitna. Yes. They are a means of testing. So I saw them, I could not hold back myself from embracing them. And we know that the Prophet ﷺ was the best of men. And part of being one of the best of men is to express your feelings. So many times we are under the assumption that real men do not express their feelings. And this is totally wrong. The best of men, the best man ever to walk the earth was the Prophet, without any doubt, alayhi salatu wassalam. And if you look into his seerah, and this is why I highly encourage Muslims to read about their Prophet ﷺ biography, to read the book of Ash-Shama'il, his description, how he used to live and how he used to act, because from that you learn the best way to live. So you don't have to have a life coach to come and tell you do this or do that, because we have our role model who is the Prophet ﷺ. Did he express his feelings? Indeed he did. Either by saying or by acting. So, do you love your brother? Do you love your wife, akhi? Yes. Of course. Did you express that to her? A lot of the Muslims would say, no, I didn't. But she knows. No, this is not enough. No. The Prophet ﷺ, when asked by strangers, Amr ibn al-As comes to him and says, O Prophet of Allah, who's the most beloved person to your heart? The Prophet said, Aisha. He said, no, I meant men. He said, her father, Allah. Abu Bakr. There is nothing to hide. By actions, the Prophet ﷺ used to express his love whenever Mother Aisha drank milk from a glass or a cup, he used to drink from the same position she placed her lips on. No. Not like what we do. So, okay, change it, please. It's hygiene. For hygiene purposes, or wash it with Dettol or whatever. No. And also with children. The Prophet, it was narrated, alayhi salatu wasalam, used to place Usama ibn Zayd on one leg and Al-Hasan ibn Ali on the other leg. Now, just a background of Usama. Usama ibn Zayd ibn Haritha. His father is Zayd ibn Haritha. He was the adopted son of the Prophet ﷺ when adoption was permitted. No. So everyone knew him as Zayd ibn Muhammad. He was a slave given by Hakeem ibn Hizam to his aunt Khadija. Khadija gave him to the Prophet ﷺ as a gift. The Prophet set him free and talked to the people of Mecca, this is my son. Then Islam abolished adoption in the Western society as concept, which is taking your name, inheriting, becoming like a real son. This was abolished. So he was named as Zayd ibn Haritha. The Prophet says, this man I love. And then he got him married to Ayman, the Abyssinian. So she was black, he was white. And she gave birth at a very late age. She was old, really old, and it's something like in the 50s and the 60s, something that's, wow. They didn't have Guinness Book of Records at the time, but it happened. And she gave birth to Usama. Usama was black, and his father Zayd was white. So the Prophet used to love Usama so much as if he was one of his grandchildren. And whenever they used to describe Usama, they used to say, oh, Usama, the love of the Prophet ﷺ, the son of the love of the Prophet ﷺ. So he loved them both. So when they were children, he used to place them both while sitting down on his knees. And he would say, oh Allah, have mercy upon them, for I have mercy upon them. I love them. I feel merciful, compassionate to them. The Prophet didn't hide such feelings. He expressed it. He showed everyone that we are human beings. We have to show our feelings, especially to the ones who we love. For an example, a man was talking to the Prophet ﷺ when a third person walked by. So the man said, O Prophet of Allah, I love this brother. Why does he love him? Because he's a practicing Muslim, he's kind, he's generous. Look at what the Prophet asked him. He said, you love him? And the man said, yes. He said, did you notify him? The man said, no. So the Prophet said, go and tell him. And Brother Yusuf, I love you for the sake of Allah. And I'm telling you that so that we would be following the Sunnah. When you love someone, express your love. Our love is not platonic as they call it. It is natural. A man loves a man for the sake of Allah, not for any, weird things that's happening in the West. We don't have this, alhamdulillah. It's a natural love based on the Quran and the Sunnah, because you're righteous, because you pray, because you're kind to your parents, blah, blah, blah. All of this are reasons for me to love. So expressing your feelings is part of our religion, especially when such feelings are positive. The Prophet ﷺ met Mu'adh once, and he said, Mu'adh ibn Jabal, he said, Mu'adh, by Allah, the Prophet is swearing, I love you. Do not leave at the end of every salat to say, Allahumma a'inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. The Prophet is expressing his love even to his companions. Now, if we were to look at other scenarios, we would find that the Prophet ﷺ was not a general, was not a man of the military, rigid, tough. Everybody has to wake up at 0600 hours, do this, do that. It was easygoing. Halal, haram, he never played with. But anything else goes. So, Khalid, for example, it shows you, we're talking about the head of the state. We're talking about a man that Persia and the Byzantine Empire and everyone around him are scared of because of his power and the growing powers he has. He gets a piece of cloth, dress. So he asks the companions, who should we give this to? And nobody answers. We don't know. So he says, call Khalid. And Khalid was a 6 or 7 years of age girl.
Oh, wow.
So she's a companion, but she's a child. So she comes with her father sitting, and he says, Khalid, wear this. So she puts it on. Because she was with her parents among the migrants to Abyssinia and came back, so the Prophet said to her in Abyssinian, Sana, Sana, which means beautiful, beautiful. So this is not the end of the story. The Prophet is compassionate to this young girl. He gives her a present. So what? This happens all the time. She, being a child of 5, 6 years of age, 7 years of age, maybe younger, started playing around the Prophet ﷺ because she felt safe and secure. He's not grumpy. He's smiling and he's allowing me to play. So she started jumping over the Prophet ﷺ. And the companions were there. And her father was, on edge. What is she doing? And then she went to the back of the Prophet ﷺ and slid down his garment and saw the seal of the prophethood, which is in the shape of a pigeon's egg, this small, and it had few hairs on it. So she started playing it. It's something that the Prophet had between his shoulders at the back. This was something that went really overboard to her father. So he started, shouting at her, scolding her, stop what you're doing. That's normal. What's not normal was the reaction of the Prophet ﷺ by saying, leave her. She's a kid. Leave her. Let her do what she wants to do. And this shows you that a child of that age, when she grows up, thinking of what she used to do with the Prophet ﷺ and to the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet was respecting her and tolerating her, how would such a person bring up and raise her own children? Definitely, these are lessons that would remain with a person when he grows up to become an adult.
Yeah, definitely. Even in that light, I'm thinking about now when I was younger, my father was teaching us to pray, giving us the tarbiyah to pray. He would never beat us or shout at us to pray, and sometimes we fooled around. Except one time we played in Salah and we got a beating. But normally he would say, remember your prayers, remember to read your Quran, remember to do this. And he would do it in a very soft and gentle way. So for that reason, we grew up with a love and care for prayer. Nobody had to force us to pray because we loved it. Because when we thought of prayer, we thought of the loving and kindness that our Father showed us. But I have other friends who grew up and they hated to pray. Not the prayer itself, but the sort of ideas and memories, exactly the approach. So they would think of prayer and they would think of rigidness and they would just leave the Salah. So this is the hikmah of the Prophet ﷺ.
And this brings us up to a similar point, which nowadays is not appropriate at all. Before, we used to take our children to the teacher in the masjid to teach them Quran. And so many of these children of these teachers would have a stick. Now, I'm not against reprimanding children with a stick. I'm against abusing them and using violence. The way they hit the children is inhumane. Nowadays, if you take your children to such teachers, we've seen this. A lot of the children would hate the Quran, would hate the religion because of the approach of that teacher. And the teacher, of course, is very low paid person and most likely is not educated. This is why it is extremely important to select a good teacher who's compassionate rather than someone who's violent.
Barakallahu feek, Sheikh. We're going to stop here for a short break and we'll be right back to you with some more hikmah, with some more beautiful stories about child rearing, the beauty of having mercy and playing and growing up in a way that they grow up to be humane, happy, and careful children, inshallah ta'ala. Until we come back, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to our second segment of Life's Adornments, where we are talking today about raising children and playing with them, about showing mercy. And this is according to the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So we mentioned a few stories, and there are many more to mention. Not just to mention stories, but to pull the wisdom out, to apply them in our lives, so that we can raise wholesome and healthy and happy children, inshallah ta'ala. And there was a mention of the Khadim of the Prophet ﷺ, who was Anas ibn Malik. And one day the Prophet ﷺ sent him out to complete an errand. And he completely forgot what the errand was, and he began to play. And the Prophet ﷺ then found him in the middle of playing. And I would like Sheikh Assim to then continue with this story and explain to us, what did the Prophet ﷺ do, and how can we reflect upon this and apply it to our own lives?
Well, there are so many stories about Anas. May Allah be pleased with him.
Ameen.
And this blessed family of his is something out of this world. His mother was known as Sulaym al-Rumaysa, and she was a wise woman. Ibn Hajar, may Allah be pleased, and may Allah have mercy on his soul,
Amen,
related her to the Prophet, and he said that she was one of his mahram. So she, Sulaym, and her sister Haram, and their brother Haram ibn Malhan were, as stated by Ibn Hajar, the uncles and aunts of the Prophet ﷺ. So they were his mahram. And when the Prophet came to Medina, she was so smart. And I think if she were here in the current stock markets, she would have made billions on Wall Street, because she did pick the best investment ever.
Allah.
She went to the Prophet ﷺ and said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, my son Anas, he's 10 years of age. He will be your servant. He's a learned boy." She didn't ask for money because she has wealth and he is a free boy. He's not a slave. So she wanted to invest so that he would attain dua from the Prophet, knowledge from the Prophet, barakah and blessings from the Prophet. So he became the khadim, which means in English, the servant of the Prophet ﷺ, for 10 years. Imagine. He said, I accompanied and served the Prophet ﷺ for 10 years. Never ever he asked me, why didn't you do so and so for something I didn't do? Or wouldn't you have done so and so for something I should have done? Never the Prophet would interrogate him or ask him. It was an easy going. It was a relationship based on trust. The story you mentioned, that the Prophet said, that Anas says, the Prophet ordered me to do something, and I wasn't very happy about it. I was a bit upset. So as I was going to do it, I saw kids play. So I started playing with them. And after a while, like half an hour or so, the Prophet stood next to me. I wasn't aware of that. And he said, Anas, did you do what I told you to do? So I immediately was, shaken up.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going, O Prophet of Allah. And the Prophet started laughing. No reprimanding, no hitting, no scolding. That's it. Look at the way the Prophet used to deal with children. Not only that, he used to empower them. Nowadays we have women empowerment. What do you mean? Taking them out of the fold of Islam and making them similar to men. So now even men and women, they don't want to have this. They want to have a word that represents the gender. So she does not say she. She says they, for a female or a male. What is this? They say this is best so that we don't segregate. All of this is nonsense. In Islam, empowerment of children is there. Giving them confidence, giving them trust. So many times, someone tells you, say this or that to the child, said, no, I'm afraid that he would leak my secrets. The Prophet didn't do this. He trusted the companions, the children. Anas bin Malik says, the Prophet told me, alayhi salam, to do something, and he said that this is secret. Al-Hafidh ibn Hajar explains. He said, this secret is not part of the religion. This is something to do with the Prophet's wives. So it's a personal thing.
Yes, yeah.
That's why. So he went, did what the Prophet had asked him to do, then went back home. Sulaym, may Allah be pleased with her, said to him, what kept you so long? Why are you late? So he said, the Prophet ﷺ sent me on an errand. So naturally, she said, what was it? Now look, Anas learned from the Prophet that this is a secret. He said, I can't tell you, it's a secret. My wife, anyone's mother, would beat the heck out of him until he confesses. What is that secret? Sulaym said, listen, son, as long as the Prophet has entrusted you with it, do not tell a soul about it. Anas bin Malik is reporting this hadith 40 years after the death of the Prophet ﷺ. And he's telling it to his companion from the Tabi'een, Thabit al-Bunani. And he says to him, smiling, Thabit, you know how much I love you. By Allah, if I told a soul, I would have told you. So he kept the secret till he died, till his grave. What does this teach us? It teaches us to look up to our children and give them confidence. Now, so many times we say things we don't pay attention to, but such words have devastating impact and effect on the children.
Sure.
A child comes in, 8, 9 years of age, wants to pour the coffee to the guest, honoring his father, is in my house, and the father says, no, you're too young, sit, give it to your elder brother. You can't do this. Why? Give him a shot, let him go for it. Explain it to him nicely. Show them, at least if you're afraid, after 5 minutes when the child is there, you show the guest, oh, this is my man. This is my youngest, but he's my eldest. MashaAllah, he memorizes Al-Fatiha. He goes with me to the masjid. Build confidence in him so that he would feel like a real man, rather than keep on criticizing him on every aspect of life like we do. Why are you sitting this? Sit straight. Why didn't you do your homework? Did you pray Dhuhr? Did you pray Asr? Did you do this? Did you do that? Did you revise your Quran? SubhanAllah, we keep on doing these things, not realizing that we are destroying them from the inside.
Yeah, so in this phase, when children are growing up, many parents are very rigid, expect them to be perfect, expect everything to be done on time, even don't allow them room for playing, like it's looked down upon. What are some advice or some authentic traditions that we should allow children to play up until a certain level? How do we sort of...
This is really bad. If, a lot of us, when we have children and the children sit for 6 or 7 hours next to us, not doing anything, we love that child.
Yeah,
SubhanAllah. There's something wrong with this child. You should take him to a doctor. Not moving like this is not normal, not natural. The natural thing is the children play, they jump, they break things. Okay, we reprimand them in according to their age, to their understanding, but not all the time. So to have children act naturally, this is part of Islam. The Prophet used to treat them according to their age. And they remember this. Anas ibn Malik had a younger brother. The Prophet used to joke with him. He says, Aba Umayr, ماذا فعل النغير? He had a small bird and the bird died. So the boy was 3, 4 years of age, was sad. And the Prophet used to ask him and call him Aba Umayr, nicknaming him. Not only that, Mahmud ibn al-Rabi', may Allah be pleased with him.
Amen.
And he was of the youngest companions of the Prophet. He says, I was 5 years of age, and I recall it as if it's yesterday, that the Prophet was making wudu, and while having water swirling in his mouth, I was over a distance, he spitted the water in my face, laughing with me. You know, this is a way you joke. And he says, I remember this, which makes him part of the Sahaba. Also, I think her name was Zainab, the daughter of Salama, his wife. So she was his step daughter. He used to, whenever she comes, sprinkle water while performing wudu in her face. This kind of loving environment, this gaming, was part of our religion. It was reported that Umar ibn Khattab once was in his home, lying on his back and children jumping on his chest. One of his officials, you know, the ruler of a region, came in and he said, Subhanallah, you're the Khalifa, you're the Caliph, and this is being done to you. So Umar took note of that and he said, what do you do with your children? He said, well, with my children, when I come home, no one opens his mouth. Whoa. What did Umar do? He said, leave your post. You are fired. If you don't have mercy upon your own children, how would you have mercy upon all the Muslims that you are governing? So all of this shows you that it is part of our Islam, but we are ignorant of our own religion and the beauty of it.
SubhanAllah, this is a perfect place to end our segment, mashallah. I'm even thinking about a statement of the Arab, I believe is kama tudinu tudan.
Correct.
Yeah, as you do unto others, so will be done unto you.
True.
So inshallah ta'ala, thank you so much for your wisdom, Sheikh. Everything that you shared today is beneficial. For our viewers, we hope that you benefited much today and take away that we should have mercy, we should be playful, and we should raise the children in a wholesome manner so that they can become wholesome adults and continue on the process of showing love, of showing care, and showing kindness to the children so we can have a community of people that are stable mentally and spiritually, inshallah ta'ala. Thank you so much for viewing. We look forward to having you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.